Modification date of April 28th, 2025. So it was a year ago today that Rockstar employees last worked or finalized the Grand Theft Auto 6 screenshots that were revealed.
GTA 6 trailer is closer than ever.
Modification date of April 28th, 2025. So it was a year ago today that Rockstar employees last worked or finalized the Grand Theft Auto 6 screenshots that were revealed with the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer number 2. So it's crazy to think that new screenshots or MP4 files for whatever Rockstar is going to be doing next, whether it be trailer 3, which we'll actually talk about in a little bit, are probably being exported right now as we speak. It's going to be awesome. It's kind of a fun little factoid that you might not have known about. But on that subject, there is a chance, based on what Rockstar Games has done in the past, that over the next few days, there could be an extremely...
GTA trailer 3 is just around the corner, and here is why. Welcome back, everyone, to the show. And this time, we're going to be talking about GTA 6 trailer 3 is getting closer and closer. The second trailer was released on a Tuesday, May 6th of 2025, and I speculate that GTA 6 is going to be showing a new trailer in the exact moments that we have of May. But Rockstar already had everything prepared a week earlier. If we look the metadata on the images of the web, they created a week before April 28th, and we can actually see multiple images of new ones, Lucia Caminos, and then we have them creating new images overall. So in April, they have created new artworks, if you guys haven't noticed, and this is why a new trailer is definitely impossible and in the works. And again, a lot of people have been speculating what is next, when is the new trailer coming, to the point where we had AI leaks. And a lot of people have a big theory. If the pre-order is on May 19, they say that, look, the game comes in 6 months pre-order, and it's definitely an option. There could be pre-orders already coming in June or May during the trailers overall, or even gameplay trailers that we're going to be seeing around August to November. I think it's very important to note that right now Rockstar has not been giving us much info at all about the trailers, and not much info anyway. And, you know, we had an AI leak and someone was joking that they are going to get banned from Rockstar, but this turned out to be false as well. So literally Rockstar has been keeping their mouth shut on the game itself. I'll definitely keep you guys updated, but it's definitely a clear indication that the trailer 3 is coming somewhere around May, in my personal opinion. It's not confirmed or anything like that, but just that we have new artworks being done, it definitely means they are preparing for an absolute new awesome release. Finally, we got a smaller snippet on GTA 6 and what's next.
He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that consumers pay for value and that Rockstar's job is to charge way less than the value that they deliver. His exact words were, how you feel about something you buy is the intersection of the thing itself and what you paid for. Consumers need to feel like the thing is amazing and the price was fair. Then he made a point that actually surprised me.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Hopefully you're doing fantastic today, and I just have a quick recap on what happened with the Rockstar CEO and Take-Two CEO basically talking about what we can expect next for GTA. Now, obviously, a lot of concern was about the price point, and, you know, GTA 6 being $100 just didn't seem realistic to me, and now we've kind of got a hint that it's not going to be $100, which is absolutely incredible news. But we also got more information on GTA 6 that the marketing will start in around, you know, summer, which was definitely expected. I'm thinking early as June, July, August. And since we are already getting the 1-year anniversary since GTA trailer 2, I'm definitely expecting something in May, at least some sort of snippet, some sort of artwork. If not a full trailer by itself, it would definitely be an amazing thing to have since the anniversary. I think it's also more important as people were asking about...
And then he said this. What we think about is making the most spectacular piece of entertainment on Earth in history. He's not talking about the best video game. He's not talking about the best open world. He's talking about the most spectacular piece of entertainment that has ever existed on this planet. More than
previously, how they are hiring more employees and how, you know, this is going to be the biggest game ever. Now, this isn't something that was just, you know, some hype for people mostly, but it is actually a big thing that they have confirmed that this is going to be one of their biggest releases probably in history of gaming. We never had such a big budget for a game before, and this is gonna be the biggest thing. Again, this is gonna be played worldwide by everyone. I repeat, like, this is not like a simple movie. This is something that's gonna last for the next 10 to 15 years. That's really gonna make generational change in how industry is looking, and gaming as a whole. It's gonna be its own world. Think of it as a metaverse era, and I think that's pretty important as what they are saying for the stock. And obviously the stock has risen since this was announced, but also very important is how much they're focusing on quality over quantity.
Now, this is the one the community has been waiting on. Zelnick confirmed the marketing for GTA 6 is starting soon. That's it, that's the confirmation. And look, we already know from previous statements made by Strauss Zelnick that the marketing push was expected around summer 2026. Of course, a lot of us have been looking at May specifically. The Take-Two earnings call is confirmed for May 21st. But hearing the CEO say soon out loud at a public event, that's completely different. That's confirmation that the machine is spinning up right now. Okay, real quick, because this came up and it's worth mentioning, even if it's not GTA related, movies, music, TV, everything, that is the bar that they have set for themselves. And look, you could say that's just CEO talk, PR speak, and hype for the conference. But this is also a man who said he's terrified of the success question, because the expectations are so high, because they know what they've built. He wrapped it up by saying, if we do that, and if we're of service to our customers, the upside will take care of itself. Meaning, just make the greatest thing ever made and let the numbers kind of follow.
Now, I think it's very important to know that we are going to be getting more news about GTA 6 during the summer, probably even a pre-order opening, which is the other big updates that we had. And I feel like that, yeah, we have been waiting for a long time. There's been getting absolutely no news. And as every day we are closer to GTA 6, there's probably going to be more AI leaks. There's going to be more info, more updates that players will await. And I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. But yeah, I'm definitely very happy that GTA 6 is not going to be $100. At least he hinted that way, that you're going to be getting the value for money. And games have been getting cheaper and cheaper since recently. I'll keep you guys updated. This is what nobody talks about the GTA 6 release date.
Sort of compromised state, even if it's at the last minute. He said if it comes to like October and the game is not 100% ready, they would suspect they would rather it slip than release. But they do have a little bit of extra flexibility when it comes to releasing the game within the same fiscal year, because that's what a lot of game developers care about.
Told us not to. Yeah, I mean, this is how Rockstar works, or at least has worked in recent decades, I suppose. In the last decade with Red Dead 2, if you look at the history there, they announced it for fall 2017, then it slipped to spring 2018, and then it slipped again to fall 2018.
A lot of people are speculating if GTA 6 will get delayed. We have to talk about the previous delay that we saw and why the delays are actually happening. I'm your host. Be sure to smash that like button. But Rockstar Games are way ahead of everyone. Evidence from GTA 6 trailer include that GTA 6 will have multiple things such as 3D road reflectors. These are fully model assets rather than flat textures. Glass fragmentation. The shattering effect follows realistic physical patterns. Again, everything is made by professionals and everything is done according to plan. Some of these things could be over €1 million just to make, or $2 million just to make glass shatter. This is really expensive process, especially animation is something that is expensive both in movies, series, and especially games. Now, fire effects, the fire, smoke, and rendering looks like real-world chemical reaction. It could be something that's going to be shown off in the missions, and it could be something way more important that we see. But a lot of people have been asking, is GTA 6 going to be delayed again? And just recently, we have found out that GTA 6 is not going to be delayed and it's on schedule because it's been delayed about 2 times at this point. So I am really, really excited to see what is happening with GTA 6. But Reese Rayleigh says no more delays at Rockstar in a final
episode
stretch,
talking about their most anticipated video games of 2026. And Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier was one of the guests. So if you'd like to listen to the entire thing for yourself, it's an hour and 42 minutes long, but I want to just go over where Jason Schreier essentially talks about the Grand Theft Auto 6 highlights of this. So take a listen to this right now, and then we'll come back to discuss.
So I figured we could start with some big questions before we get to our categories and our picks for the games that we're most excited about. We thought it was then, except that we didn't actually believe that because you had told us not to.
Yeah, I mean, this is how Rockstar works, or at least has worked in recent decades, I suppose. In the last decade with Red Dead 2, if you look at the history there, they announced it for fall 2017, then it slipped to spring 2018, and then it slipped again to fall 2018, and there it landed October of that year. So I wouldn't be super shocked if that is what happens again this time around. This is a big and complicated game, and the last I heard, it was still not content complete. That is to say that people were still finishing things up, still finalizing levels and missions and seeing what's going to make it into the game. Typically, the way that game development works, you have your feature complete, your content complete, your bug testing phases, and there's a lot of kind of boundaries blurred along the way in all of those different stages. But they are still making stuff, and we'll hopefully be done with that soon and just have a whole bunch of time for fixing bugs. But even during those phases, there's always someone who wants to sneak in some last minute stuff. So it's really hard to say. In other words, it's really hard to say right now. And I don't think anyone at Rockstar could tell you with 100% certainty that they will make it out in November. But I think like this might be a little bit more solid. But it's game development, right? It's so complicated. And with a game like this, the stakes are so high, they really can't settle for anything less than perfection with this release because there's so much riding on it. The entire, the stock of Take-Two lives or dies on this game. Every time this game slips, their shares drop 10%, I should say. So yeah, it's not something that they will release in any sort of compromised state. So even if it comes to like October and they're like, the game is not 100% ready, I suspect they would rather slip than release it. And then one more thing I'll say is that their fiscal year, which is when they handle all their financial reporting, that's kind of the most important part of the way that scheduling works in the finance world, is they all pay attention to fiscal years. Their fiscal year ends at the end of March, so they do have a little bit of buffer. Obviously, they would want to be out for the holiday season and Black Friday and all the beautiful Christmas sales that they always do. But I think they have a little bit of buffer to next March if they still want to release the game within the fiscal year. So it does give them a little bit of breathing room.
So I know that was a lot, so let's recap. So I know the thing that people are going to gravitate towards is he kind of says the game could be delayed again when he says, I wouldn't be super shocked if that's what happens again this time around. But I don't necessarily think he's saying that GTA 6 is going to be delayed again. In fact, we'll talk about some follow-up comments he made, but he did say that the game is big and complicated, and last he heard, it was still not content complete. They're still finishing things up, finalizing levels and missions, figuring out what's going to make its way into the game, seeing if stuff gets put in at the last minute. And he says because of that, he doesn't think anyone in Rockstar could tell you with 100% certainty that the game is going to make it out in November, but he does say that this release date...
know that he's one of the people that said the game won't release on May 26, few weeks pre-delay announcement in November 2025. So I think it's very important to say that a lot of people were expecting GTA, to release on May, but now we finally have more updates on exactly what they were working on. Seems like the game itself, the missions are mostly done. The leaks we had a year ago, or actually 2 years ago, they really showed us what's possible on concept, but they were really early builds, like 2022, 2023. They were not the latest versions. They were just versions that leaked online. And I feel like it's pretty important to note that GTA 6 right now is way, way more confident to be designed in the way it should be, as I want to show you guys here. There's used car dealerships, there's 3D road reflections, there's something that the PlayStation 3 could not do and the PS5 Pro can. And I think it's very important to note here that GTA 6 right now is definitely going to be the biggest game we have ever seen. I'll keep you guys updated with more news, but I think it's also fair to assume, because, we saw what Red Dead Redemption 2 was, and it still ages well. GTA 6 is like 7 years later, and it's 3 times the budget. it's a bigger IP. So you kind of have an idea of what's going on, how many details there are in GTA 6 right now that you might have